Well, for the answer to that, we will head over to our next run, which is Disney Infinity Inside Out by IzzyHope58. So, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to show off this run. This is Disney Infinity's Inside Out. I'm so excited. I showed this off last year, but there have been quite a few new strats since I ran this last to show off, so I'm very excited. So, we will start the run as soon as I turn the dialogue back on, because I don't want the dialogue interrupting my intro. So, we'll start the run in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Disney Infinity Inside Out. I like to describe this as a Mario 3D World type of 3D platformer, kind of a linear with a zoomed out camera. It is very fun, very underrated. Not a lot of people know about this game because it's part of Disney Infinity. I am so excited for this. We are playing as Sphere right now, who is the fastest character to play as. Just the movement speed is faster, rolls and dashes are faster, and also has some neat skips and movement tech to him that we will see later on. I just fell. We'll try this again. We're going to be jumping on these platforms here, jump on these hearts, and we'll see if we make this bridge cycle. Just barely didn't make it. So we're going to hit that bridge here. So we have these springs that are on the ground that can bounce us up, which are pretty nice. But what we are actually able to do is if we dash off of one of the springs... Oh. Try it again. Third time's the charm. We go flying through the air. And that is what we call a spring boost. So we are going to be doing another spring boost right here, around that corner. And we also have these memories that we can put in these little deposit memory boxes, and those usually take away a bunch of blocks that are required to progress through the level, but we might be skipping a few of those, just maybe. So another thing that we can do with these springs is we did a normal spring boost, but if you hold down the dash button, you do an extended spring boost, which takes you much further across. We're going to do a neat little jump down here, and do a little bit of platforming on these cards to get up to the top of the level. And this is the level exit. Every level that we go to is going to have a level exit that we have to get to that looks just like this. So this game is also split into about half of them are 3D levels, and then half of them are 2D side-scrolling levels, like the next level. Now, you would think that the side-scrolling levels wouldn't be as open or as broken or as able to do skips. That's actually not true, because we have a little trick up our sleeves in the form of something called dimension breaking. So basically, if you remember those memory deposit areas that you can put memories in, you can actually do a glitch with those where if you deposit the memory and then throw it afterwards, you're actually able to move in completely 3D in these levels, and we have complete control over the character, and that allows us to like jump around obstacles. So we're going to be doing that all throughout the 2D levels, and the first dimension break is actually coming up here in just a few moments. And this wheel spin. So we're going to grab this memory here, pause it and throw, and then we're just going to jump on a little bit of collision with that wheel there. And then actually here I'm using the D-pad just to make sure that I don't accidentally go forward or backwards while in Dimension Break, because while you're in Dimension Break, it is quite easy to accidentally fall out of bounds because the game isn't really meant for this. Like, this isn't really intended. Shocker, I know. So the collision isn't exactly how it seems, and also the camera angle is quite tricky and doesn't really show very well where you're going. So this is a little bit of a trickier jump, but got it, and got the checkpoint as well. Gonna be doing one more jump around this wheel, skipping more memories and more waiting around. Gonna make our way up here. So I'm using the D-pad for just moving normally, but then whenever I actually have to go, like, forward and back to jump around obstacles, for those parts, I switch over to the analog stick, so I have more control, so I'm able to have control over the forward and backwards. So, we are going to deposit this final memory here. Right here. Jump up here, and that is the end of our first 2D level. So now we are on to Brain Power 2. All the levels in this game are kind of split into groups of 3. So the previous level was Brain Power 1, we have Brain Power 2 and 3. So coming up here, we actually have brand new tech in the form of Sadness, and I'll just do it right here. Yeah, Sadness is completely broken. Basically, she can slam her face into the ground and then go flying forward. Slam her face in the ground and then yeet forward. That was found recently by Bamford, who I see in the chat right now, and that completely has revolutionized the game. That was found just about a month ago, or a little over a month ago, so we're going to be using that as many places as we can. So we are going to be depositing this memory here. There are a couple of places where it's not too worth it, or it's super risky or super challenging to do dimension break, such as that place. So we actually aren't doing it here. And also, there's a couple of ways that you lose dimension break. Sometimes grabbing certain ledges or certain objects will make you lose dimension break. And then also switching characters is going to make you lose dimension break as well. And you are able to switch characters. Since we're playing on the PC version, we actually have a menu that we switch characters with. And sometimes we use that to switch to different characters for different abilities, or Sadness super broken flying ability. But we can also do something called a swap jump. So if I switch characters here, gonna switch to Disgust, and I'm going to switch right back. As soon as the character swaps, you can get a mid-air jump. And so we use that right there just to gain a little bit of extra height, gain an extra double jump. Here we're going to do a dimension break here. Go behind the level this time, grab that checkpoint. And we're going to try to stay in dimension break for the rest of this, so we can keep having to go all the way to the left, grab a memory, and jump right around those blocks. And that is it for Brain Power 2. We're on now onto another 3D level, and this is where we can see the true potential of how broken Sadness really is. These disguise stations allow you to quickly switch between characters, and also on the console version, it would allow you to switch characters if you don't own them. So we just switched to Sadness. The game wanted us to use Anger for this section to walk across lava. We're actually never going to see Anger in this run. We never use Anger anymore. Even before then, we only used him once. He's been completely replaced by Sadness. So, the funny thing is about the Sadness flies is that when we first started running the game, we thought Sadness was useless and was only useful for this upcoming section right here. We should have listened to the plot of the movie, the part of the movie where they're like, you know, Sadness, they thought that Sadness was useless, but turns out she's super powerful. We should have been listening to the message of the movie and realized Sadness is way more useful than we thought she was. So that's a bit ironic. So yeah, that there tells us why we're playing as Sphere for most of the run, because he's a really fast runner. Each character has their own ability. Anger can walk on lava. Disgust can bounce up on clouds that we did. Joy would be the section that we introduced here, but we're actually going to do an extended spring boost. But we're actually going to see Joy in just a moment. Joy is able to do a short little hover after her double jump. Anger can walk on lava, and Sadness can stand on clouds without them fading away, along with, you know, the flying. So here is a pretty big skip. We're actually going to be chaining Sadness Fly with a couple of swap jumps. So we're going to switch to Joy, and then switch back over to Fear. Do a fly. Okay, didn't quite get it there. So we'll try it one more time. Just mistimed my swap jump. So we're going to fly over to these blocks. Swap to Joy, swap back over to Fear. Fly, swap jump. Just barely made it. Alright, so for that part, we flew over as Sadness, then we swapped over to Joy, used her hover for a little bit to gain a little bit more distance, and then finally swapped back over to Fear to get a final couple of jumps. We are now on to Cloudy Days 1. We are going to be doing a neat little extended spring boost here. Try to land here. Do a normal spring boost there. For some, and try and get hit by the bowl, because of course we did. Please don't chase me. Sometimes, for certain sections, we want to use extend spring boost to get more distance, but other times it doesn't really save too much time, and there are a couple of places where we actually can't do extended ones, so we just do normal spring boost, but other times it's just faster to do a normal spring boost. We have these memory workers. We're going to jump when we grab them, and that makes us run a lot faster. If we grab them normally, we would walk super, super slow while carrying the memory workers. And those memory workers are able to activate different machines that will let us progress through the level. Bounce up on these springs for a little bit. Do a quick little... or try to. The spring boost is a little bit weird. Do a quick little spring boost, grab this memory. And then we are going to get to the end of the level here. Alright, so we're on another 2D level. We're going to start out with a big extended spring boost. And then this part, we have to wait a little bit for these clouds to progress. So, if the host has anything they would like to say, now would be a good time.
Absolutely. We have a $16 donation from Electric Man 17, who says, "Hey, howdy, hey, you guys aren't getting Buzz Lightyear today." And with that donation, we now have a very, very close race between Woody and Buzz Lightyear for the Toy Story 3 character, with Woody taking the lead with $81 and Buzz Lightyear in second place with $80.
Very close race, definitely. Alright, so this is kind of one of the more slower paced levels. Sometimes that can happen where you just, the platforms close on you randomly if you stand on them, so that's a little bit annoying. See. There we go. Yeah, this is one of the more slower paced levels. We are in Dimension Break right now, so we are going to do a couple of jumps around these blocks just so we don't have to wait for their cycles. And then here we are going to be doing a swap jump over to Joy. That's going to make us lose our Dimension Break, but we don't need it for the rest of the level. So we're just going to use Joy here. This shows off Joy's kind of flutter ability there. Swap back over to Fear to get up to here. And that's almost the end of the level. We just got one more of these falling platforms. And that's the end of the level. Next level, we are back over to 3D. And we got some more spring boosts in store. One cool thing about extended spring boost compared to normal spring boost is you're actually able to hit walls and still keep some of your momentum. Whereas with normal spring boost, as soon as you hit a wall, all of your momentum is lost. And part of the extended spring boosts are actually frame rate dependent. So depending... the higher your frame rate is, the more likely a higher wall is to actually kill your extended spring boost and kill your momentum. So we're actually playing at 100 FPS, which is kind of a sweet spot between too high of an FPS that would break dimension spring boost, and then too low of an FPS that kind of breaks the camera in certain ways. So here we are switching over to Sadness, and we are going to ride these clouds up to the top. Do a nice little fly over to there. Up until we found the Sadness slide, that part would be used with Joy's hover, but now we just fly over with Sadness. do a neat little extended spring boost over to the end of the level. That one's pretty tricky to get because you have to position yourself just right to not land on the spring and bounce up, but also not land in the lava and, you know, die. So, this level introduces us to these moving blocks that are kind of based on the music that have the switches that you can enable and disable. These are going to be a big part throughout the rest of the level. So we are gonna make our way over here. We're gonna purposely take damage here and then use our invincibility frames to jump on that third one and jump up. And then we're gonna be doing another dimension break here to skip most of the rest of the puzzles. In just a moment here. Gonna go up here and grab this memory. Do dimension break here, and then I'm going to tap backwards a couple of times, and then I'm able to jump on the edge of those blocks here. Then going to keep it and do the same thing over here. And that is the end of that level. We are on to probably one of the more intense levels skip-wise. This is Mental Month 2, so let's see if we can do it well. So we're going to land on the edge of the spring, and then I'm going to switch over to Sadness right before I do an extended spring boost, so that we can do a fly over here. Oh, that was weird. Okay. But we still got the checkpoint, so that's okay. And then I'm going to switch back over to Fear to do a swap jump up to here. And then I'm going to turn this on briefly, so the blocks will go down and be lined up for the next part. Jump over to here, do a big extended spring boost over here, and then jump on over to here. Now we're just going to be doing some dash rolling over to the end of the level. And once again, there's another memory that we would have to do, but we skip puzzles in this game. It's fine. Status is completely broken, so we're gonna do a fly over to there, and do one more fly around these blocks, switch back over to Fear for the next level, and that is the end of Mental Notes 2. Alright, there isn't too much to explain in this level, it's just more platforming, so if you have anything else you would like to read, now would be a great time.
Perfect timing on that. We have a $20 donation from Bamford, who says, "Yay, Inside Out and Izzy, great runner, breaking a great game." And then we got an $8 donation from Steve CV Online, who said, "I wanted to be the one that brought it to $500. Thanks to everyone for the help." And with that donation, we have reached our $500 goal for Prism. So huge congratulations to everybody for making that.
I would also like to ask, how is the Inside Out Glitch Showcase incentive at?
Yes, let me check on that here. So we do currently have an Inside Out Glitch Showcase. We are at $68 out of $100 for that incentive. If we meet that by the end of the run, then Izzy will be able to show off some cool glitches for us. So when you donate, be sure to put your money towards that incentive. You can also put it towards one of our polls as well, so you don't have to choose between them.
Yeah, I am so excited, so definitely donate towards that if you can, because there are some pretty cool things that we don't do in the run that I would love to show off.
Oh, I also forgot to mention that Steve's donation put Buzz Lightyear back on top now for the character choice.
So there's an intense bid war going between those two.
Very intense here. And also our second bid war for Disney's Party choosing the character. We have a $1 difference in that as well between Donald and Goofy. So very, very close bid wars here.
Oh. Alright, we'll try this one more time. Then spring boost. There's also broccoli that gets in the way. I make sure to kill the broccoli because for some reason in this game, if you dash into something like from a certain direction, if there's an enemy or something even like 90 degrees away from you, you'll lock onto that enemy, and it's super annoying. So a lot of times I'm going to be like getting rid of swamp monsters or broccoli or anything that I can potentially accidentally lock onto. Here, usually we have to wait for these clouds, but if you just step on the edge there, you're able to drop through and get on the spring early. And then I'm actually going to switch over to Disgust for the beginning of the next level, because we are going to be using her ability to jump super high on clouds to jump up on here, and then I'm going to chain that with a swap jump to get up here. So part of the fun that I love with routing this game is routing out character swaps to be optimal. So like examples like that where like we use Disgust for a ability and then we chain that with a swap jump and like it lines up perfectly. So finding things that line up perfectly like that are one of the reasons I love this game, and I love glitch hunting and routing for this game. We are switching back over to Disgust again real quick just so we can jump up on these clouds. It isn't necessary, but it is a lot faster to jump up there rather than to... I forgot the casual way to do it, to be honest. So, we're just gonna go a little bit further here. Do an extended spring boost there. Sometimes that one doesn't work, that one's a little bit finicky. And then we are going to be doing one more swap jump in this level to get up to this memory. Then do a dimension break and switch back over to Fear. And you notice there sometimes you have to wait, like right after you switch characters, you actually have to wait a little bit before you're able to grab memories or grab objects, or even certain things like grabbing poles, you have to wait a little bit after switching characters as well. So, this is by far the shortest level of the run. Just do a simple extended spring boost there, and then as soon as we climb up this pole, we have this nice little spring here, and the level exit's just right there. That level can be completed in under 30 seconds, which is really cool. Alright, so this level is very cycle-based, so let's see if I get good cycles here. So far, so good. Gonna break that block. We're still on the right cycle. Then spring boost. And we are trying to make this block cycle that's coming up here. Grab this memory. And lined up perfectly. We are going to be doing a dimension break right here, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of a tricky extended spring boost. Try to... I did an extended spring boost there, and then I hit the block, so that wouldn't stop my momentum. For some reason, sometimes that, that spring boost doesn't bring me all the way. Sometimes it does. I haven't really figured that out completely yet. Gonna break that block and do another extended spring boost here. Toggle these blocks just one time to allow myself to get up here. Alright. There's also some of those cycles with the blocks over the lava coming up here, so just barely missed that cycle, so we'll just wait one more cycle. I try to jump off of those turning blocks when I can. Gonna do a nice little roll off that spring. I like to call those spring rolls. And just gotta wait a little bit more for this. But we are near the end of the level. And the next level is another 3D level with a pretty interesting out of bounds that we get to do. Alright, so we are going to be going over to this toggling spring right here. We're going to skip a good chunk of the level with another extended spring boost. And then once we get to about these spikes, we are going to switch over to Sadness and do some Sadness flying out of bounds. So we are going to go into this section right here. And we're going to switch back over to Fear. And then fly right back in bounds. 3 very quick Sadness flies there. And then coming up, we're going to be doing a pretty precise swap jump in order to get to the top of this platform up here. Usually, we would have to bring this memory worker over in order to activate that platform, but that's slow. So as soon as I get here, I'm going to switch over to Disgust. Almost. If we get a second try. Alright, got it second try. That's pretty good still, because you do have to switch back over to Beer anyways for the next level, so only loses a couple of seconds there. For some reason I went to the left there. You might also notice sometimes I get stuck while rolling. That's just a weird quirk with this game, where sometimes if you spam roll, as soon as you stop spamming rolling, you have a random low chance of accidentally getting stuck on your roll. It's very annoying and I don't really understand it. It's pretty annoying though. So we're going to deposit this memory here. A big thing with dimension breaks is getting damage and stuff like that makes you more likely to get pushed forward or backwards and get pushed out of bounds. So that's kind of the reason we're not doing dimension break right in this level, because there's lots of things that can damage you, and it would be very inconsistent. It would be like near task levels to try dimension break through this level. It could be done one day, but definitely not necessary for now. And also, there's just not a lot of obstacles that you are able to jump around, even if you were in Dimension Break. So we just got more of these platforms with the colored platforms with the switches that we turn on and off. If there's any more messages you would like to read, now would be a good time.
For sure. We have an $8 donation from Electric Man 17, who says, "Buzz. Okay, Woody, let's go." Stinky Pete punches Buzz. And then Pete says, "Take that, space toy." And then Woody says, "Hey, no one does that to my friend." But with that, we now have Woody back in the lead. Woody is leading with $89 towards it. Buzz Lightyear in second place with $88. Keeping the bid war as close as it possibly can be. And as a reminder, that is the next run. So you've got until the beginning of that run to change that bid war.
It's very close. Nice. Alright, so now we are in Summer, Winter, and Fall, and this level introduces us to these gravity changers that we are going through, and we can keep some momentum if we roll through them at just the right position. And these gravity changers can be quite broken. These are going to be get quite broken in later levels, but for now they're pretty normal. Gonna ground pound this.
Brute force goes against my very nature. It's the only way to get rid of these creatures.
Spring up here. And then hopefully we'll make a good cycle here. Nice. Alright, and we are going to be combining these gravity changers with a swap jump in order to get enough height to get up to this section here, instead of having to go grab a memory, which would activate those blocks to unlock that spring. Thankfully, we got a first try. That one can be a little bit tricky, and sometimes this broccoli can be super annoying. I'm not a big fan of broccoli. I don't like broccoli too much, and same thing goes for this game as well. So, we are on to Summer Winter Falls 2. Gonna charge our shot there to break those blocks. Do a nice little roll into that gravity changer. Get rid of these swamp monsters. I'm going to be jumping on this pole and then jumping off to grab that ledge. That's a neat little 1-second save there. Swamp monsters, kind of annoying. Gonna be doing a couple of rolls through here, and then a spring boost. And then here, what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a double jump with it while picking this memory worker up. And that is going to allow... Oh, it went through the wall. You went through the wall. Where... The memory worker is in the wall. I might be soft-locked here? That's not good. Maybe... I think I might have soft-locked myself. That has never happened before. Sometimes when you, like, drop those memory workers, they can kind of get flinged forward and it's pretty glitchy. But I've never had that actually happen where the memory worker goes through the wall and doesn't respawn back at their station. So, that's always fun. Love seeing firsts at a marathon. It's okay, we can re-enter the level and try again. Now I know that's something that can happen, so we'll avoid that happening. While we go back through the level, again, if you have anything else you would like to read, now would be a good time. If not, totally fine.
Alright, I just got word from our team that we are going to change, Izzy, your donation, or not your donation, I'm sorry, your incentive for Inside Out Glitch Showcase. We are lowering that now to 75, meaning we only have a little bit more in order to make that Inside Out Glitch Showcase happen. We just need $7 more by the end of the run in order to do an Inside Out Glitch Showcase.
I believe in you all. You all can do it. Alright, so we did a double jump there with the memory worker, and that allows us to bring them up to here, and that just allows us to skip doing a stupid puzzle with getting another memory worker. I don't like doing puzzles in this game. I like skipping puzzles in this game. That's much more enjoyable. The puzzle for me is within... For me, the puzzle is finding a way to skip said puzzles. That is the puzzle for me. Do a nice little jump off there. This memory here is a little bit weird. It randomly can spawn on either the top or bottom, and the top is better. But I have not found a way to manipulate or control or predict which one is going to spawn on. We're going to do a nice spring boost here. Drop down, do another spring boost, and hit that block to keep our momentum so it doesn't kill our momentum. Make our way here. Gonna do another spring roll here just to get to the other side quickly. Grab this memory. And that is the end of Summer, Winter, and Falls 2. We are on to the third Summer, Winter, Falls level, which is another 2D level. Gonna charge my shot up here so I can break these blocks as soon as I get up there. Then just gonna try to stay up for most of this. And then do a neat little jump here. And then coming up here, I'm actually going to be using my special attack. I haven't used this yet. I only use it a few places in the run. I'm just going to use it to get rid of both this broccoli and the swamp monster, because both of which can get in my way. And then I'm going to try to... Alright, perfect. So what I did there is I jumped and then I dropped the memory while I was touching a ledge, and that actually allowed the memory to drop on top of said ledge. Usually you would have to do a bunch of puzzles and stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I hate puzzles. So what we did there instead is we were able to drop the memory on the ledge before we actually grabbed and landed on the ledge. So we're going to be using that a couple of times throughout the run. It's a very useful trick for a handful of sections. Gonna be grabbing this memory worker again.
No problem.
And then we are going to be doing a swap jump with Joy as soon as we grab this pole in order to get over to here. Then going to switch back over to Fear. Character switching as soon as I enter this level is actually important because if you finish that level without character switching, you'll actually be stuck and you won't be able to move until you switch characters again. So doing that skip actually helps with not getting stuck there. This is a pretty precise extended spring boost, but got it first try. Very nice. That one's pretty tricky because you have to make sure you don't hit the wall too much, but also not go too far out and get a good angle to still land on the cloud. This spring boost, on the other hand, is much easier, but sometimes that tornado can get in your way, which is a little annoying. And do a ginormous spring boost over here. Skip like a third or a fourth of the level or something like that. Gonna hit these swamp creatures just so I don't accidentally lock in onto them. You know, spring boost here. Hopefully this bull doesn't kill me. Alright. Alright, so we got one more section to this level. Another massive spring boost just to go over here. And then here we're going to be chaining a spring boost into a character swap. So, spring boost and then character swap. We're going to be doing that for, I think, a couple more sections of the run. Alright, now we got something a little bit unique. This is kind of a monkey ball style rolling level. And what I actually did there is I was able to get onto the ball early just by going over to it. It was invisible, but you're able to jump onto the ball early and then get a little bit of distance beforehand. And I actually got quite a bit of distance that time. You can also, if you roll while you're on this little bat ball, you'll actually have a lot more control over it. Usually when you are controlling this little bat ball, your momentum is very weird and you have a lot of friction and controlling it is quite difficult. But if you roll like that, then you actually have a lot more momentum and you're able to do skips like the couple that I did there, just like just being able to bump up and over those, or bump up certain platforms. Here we're going, instead of pressing all these buttons to turn on this fan, we're going to be going over to the right, and we're going to be going up this ramp, and going right here. And that is pretty much the end of the ball rolling level. The next level is by far my favorite level of the run, because we get to skip the entire thing, and it is one of the coolest looking tricks of the entire run. So, you might remember how I said that the gravity changers in the 2D levels can be a little bit broken. Well, this is what I meant by that. Basically, in this level in particular, for whatever reason, if you go out of bounds far enough, the gravity changers extend all the way outwards and are like just infinitely there. So what we are actually going to do here is we are going to do a dimension break, and then we are going to be falling vertically for a little bit, and then use the gravity changers to bring us all the way to the end of the level, just like this. So we're falling vertically, and then when we hit the gravity changers, boing, boing, flying through the entire level, and then we're going to ground pound at the end here to go right into the end level trigger, just like that. Alright, we are now on to Topsy-Turvy Trip 1. This level has some pretty interesting and pretty challenging skips in it to it as well. And do a nice extended spring boost there. And we're going to be using more Sadness Flying in this level. Try to land on the spring without landing on the lava, which is actually a lot harder than it looks. Gonna go way over here. Sometimes you can accidentally go back on the other side. The gravity changers can be a little bit annoying sometimes. Do a nice little roll here. And then as soon as I grab this ledge, I'm going to switch over to Sadness, and I'm going to do a nice little swap jump there. Going to... Okay, didn't quite get that. I'm going to try that one more time. The positioning was just a little bit off for that. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. Alright, we'll try it one more time.
Cry for a little while.
Okay, that's fine. If you position that correctly, you can go all the way through the gravity changer and get all the way to this memory. What you can also do is, as soon as you fly, you can actually grab the memory as you're flying and take the memory flying with you. So we're going to be doing that here as well. Just do the fly and then grab the memory as well. That is very useful for especially this level, and I think in the next level as well we might use it. Bounce on the spring a couple more times. And we are going to be doing a dimension break here in just a moment. Got that memory here. And then because these gravity changers kind of exist throughout the entire level, what we can do is we can do a dimension break and then just kind of pop off over to the other side of the level. And then as we... Nope, I fell out of bounds. Okay, I have one more try for this before I end up soft locking. We'll try that one more time. We're going to dimension break, pop on over to the other side. I'm going to ground pound just to deal with the broccoli. And there we go, landed on that, and just going to be a little bit safe and kill these swamp monsters so I can get to the end level safely. Alright, we are on to Topsy-Turvy 2. Going to make our way over here. This level probably has one of the coolest sadness flies of the run. It looks very cool and you go quite far with it. So we're just gonna charge our shot up here to get rid of these balloons, and then I'm going to switch over to sadness here. While you switch characters, you're actually invulnerable to the lava, which actually while switching characters, you're invulnerable to lava, and that actually helps with not dying to the lava there, because that actually used to be a pretty frustrating spot to do a spring boost. Do a nice spring boost there. And then here, I'm going to chain another extended spring boost with a swap jump, so I'm going to swap over to Disgust. The reason we're swapping to Disgust is just because she is the first character on the menu. So we're able to get up there. This part's pretty cool. I'm going to spring boost over to the right. Spring boost back over to the left. And then I'm going to fly back over to the right with the memory. which is real cool. We just go boing, boing, boing. Alright, I'm going to be staying as Sadness here because we have a pretty cool Sadness flag coming up. Bounce up here, and position this just right. Go through the gravity changer and land all the way on top of this little thing right here. And we're gonna switch back over to Fear, and that skips a whole bunch of just bouncing on springs. Got one more puzzle we gotta do. It is possible to skip this puzzle if you do that entire section with the dimension break, but it's super hard and really, really risky to do. There's actually a chance you're able to soft lock if you attempt to do that. Alright, so we got one more 2D level left, and then we have only 3D levels left after that. This level is pretty simple. It's mostly... There's not too many skips to this level. It's mostly just going through. We are going to jump on this block and ground pound there to get through the gravity changer. Then do a spring boost there in order to grab that memory from the opposite side. Do a nice little spring boost there. The rest of this level, though, is pretty much doing it casually, so if you have anything else you would like to say, now would be a great time.
Perfect. We got a $7 donation from Steve TV Online, who says $7 for glitches and to put Buzz back in the lead. Let's do it. So with that, we have officially met the target for Izzy's Inside Out Glitch Showcase, which will be happening shortly after the run here. And with that, we have Buzz Lightyear back in the lead for the Toy Story 3 character poll.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for donating towards the glitch showcase. I'm super excited to show off some of the amazing glitches that have been found by the Inside Out community. The community for this game is pretty small right now. There's not a lot of runners, but it is a great community, and there are lots of fun things happening. If you would like to play this game, this playset is part of Disney Infinity 3.0, and it goes on sale on Steam often. I believe it was like $5 over this past summer sale, so I would definitely recommend checking out this run and checking out, even playing it casually, I think is definitely worth the buy if you are able to. I would highly recommend it. We also have a Discord server. We would love to have you join and teach you the run if you want. Alright, so we are nearing the end of our final 2D level. Alright, that's the end of Topsy Turvy 3. We are on to our final 3 main levels of the run. We're going to be doing a pretty tricky swap jump because it's pretty tight on timing in order to skip yet another puzzle, because I don't like doing puzzles in this game. They're pretty tedious. So we'll see if I can get it right. I'm doing a nice little jump on top of that pole there. Or tube. And then let's see if I can get this. Not quite. Third time's the charm. There we go. It's got a third try. Then we're actually going to be using Disgust's Cloud Power to... Oh, I was supposed to switch to Sadness here. Just gonna do a neat little Sadness fly just to skip a little bit more extra stuff. And we got one more skip for this level, again using Sadness's wonderful flying ability. So, once again, we have routed this out so that we can chain a necessary swap jump with a necessary character swapping for power. And then we're going to switch back over to Fear for beginning of the next level. We got, once again, another ball rolling level. And once again, we are going to try to get on the ball early and just fall right down this hill right here. And that allows us to get some extra distance.
It's just a dream, it's just a dream, it's just a dream.
Once again, I'm just going to be doing a quick roll so we have extra control over the bat ball and just get some extra momentum. And there are actually a decent amount of just kind of running yourselves into walls and bumping yourselves up them type of skips. So we have one coming up here. Gonna bounce the spring. Didn't get that one. That's okay though. That one's a little bit inconsistent. Alright, we're gonna press these buttons. We're going to be using this fan to skip over that set of blue buttons there. Make our way in here. Just wait for these turning platforms. Gonna be doing one last little skip here, just make our way up there, and then go up this blue ramp, and we are on to the final level of the run, the final main level of the run. We still have a boss fight that we have to do. This level, we are, basically the story of this game, I haven't discussed it at all yet. Basically, there's a bunch of swamp monsters that are invading Riley's mine, and we have to stop them. And we have discovered that they are coming out of the boyfriend generator. So usually we would have to flip a bunch of switches in order to turn off the malfunctioning boyfriend generator. But we are going to be doing something called the boyfriend skip, where we just completely skip turning off the boyfriend generator. So once again, we are going to be using sadness for this. Make our way up to these clouds here. Going to position ourselves just right. Going to switch back over to joy, do a fly, and chain that with a swap jump. Didn't quite get it. We'll do that one more time. Should get it next time.
Okay, that was a surprise.
Alright, try this one more time. Alright, and that is boyfriend skip. That skips us all the way to the end of the level. And all we got left is one more level, which is a boss fight against Jangles the Clown. Also, an annoying thing here, you aren't able to go over to level select until you wait like 3 billion seconds. It's pretty annoying.
Let's get this show on the road.
Woohoo! No boyfriends! If Riley is skipping the boyfriend generator, does that mean that Riley is a lesbian? Question mark? You never know. Alright, so this is Jingles the Clown. This boss fight is kind of a auto-scroller type thing. Basically, we need Jingles' hammer to smash all of the swamp monsters. And there are 3 different phases for this part. So if there's any more donations or any more messages you would like to read, we are nearing the end of the run. We got a couple more minutes left.
Awesome. We have just a little bit here before our bid war will close. So this is your last chance to switch the character for Toy Story 3. We currently have, sorry, let me double check. We currently have Buzz Lightyear in the lead with $95. Woody close behind at $89. So just $6 to tie it up and $7 to put Woody in the lead again. And there also is Jessie at $10. He's falling out of it a little bit, but hey, you never know. We could get a donation for Jessie that switches it.
Can we get like $90 for Jessie and just completely catch everyone off by surprise. Alright, so we were on phase 2 for this boss. Pretty simple, just smashing these swamp monsters. They try to mix it up a little bit for each phase, like swapping the order of the buttons, but it's still pretty simple. And also, the reason that we're playing as Joy for this level is, since we used Joy to do Boyfriend Skip in the last level, since this level doesn't really require any fast movement or spring boost or anything, we're staying as Joy for this level just because it takes time to switch characters. To pause the game and switch characters. Alright, so we got one more phase coming up. Gotta wait for these swamp monsters to spawn. Gonna be using our wave attack just to get those bubbled up swamp monsters. And this time they try to make it even fancier, where they do the weird, magic trick thing where they, swap all the things around and make it like, which one is which? Alright, we'll see. Alright, so we gotta hit this one. And this should be our final hit. Awesome, we just got one more set of balloons that we have here. And actually, if we collect all the balloons in the correct way, we're actually able to skip this timer. It's a little bit finicky if it works or not, but we should get it here. Or not, that's fine though. Alright, time is coming up as soon as this final cutscene appears. And time! Alright, that was Inside Out New Game Plus, but we're not done yet, because we met the incentive for the Glitch Showcase. So, ooh, what do I show off first? Alright, so, first thing I want to show off with the Glitch Showcase is something that we actually were just in the final boss, but there's something pretty cool hiding underneath the level for the final boss. I also don't know why I overrun fear now. So, if we do a quick little swap jump here, we're able to get out of bounds here. And if we fall here, can jump down here, and if I do this just right, what we will find... Oh, I passed it. Hold on. Let me try this again. You might have seen it briefly, but, you see this level selection screen here? That might look slightly familiar in a second. Also, very annoying to replay the levels for this game. Alright, let's try this one more
I
time.
wish we could enlist the mind workers to do some of this for us, but I'm not sure.
Alright. So, gonna do a swap jump here. Get out of bounds.
What's that light? It startled me.
And then we are going to switch over to Joy so we can do this. And then just gonna be a little bit more careful. Hover all the way down. And we have made it to the level selection screen. The hub is underneath the boss arena, or perhaps the boss arena is above the level selection screen. You never know. So that is a pretty cool find that I found recently. There are a couple more things that I would like to show off for the Glitch Showcase. So the Sadness Flying that we did throughout the run was actually a pretty new gift that was found about a month ago by Bamford, who I've seen in the chat. But I would like to show off the original way that we did Boyfriend Skip before we did that. Because Boyfriend Skip did actually exist before before the sadness flying.
All right, Riley's
Existed.
imagination is almost back to normal.
So we are going to
Monsters, of course, but one thing at a time.
make our way up here. I would also like to mention that when I originally found Spring Boost, I actually did not know about extended Spring Boost, being able to hold the dash button in order to do Spring Boosts. So I was theorizing Boyfriend Skip for a while, just trying to do normal Spring Boost, trying to Spring Boost our way around that thing. And it seemed impossible. Like, I was trying this bottom spring here, and I was also trying, there's a spring up here, I was trying to, you know, do like a weird spring boost around to get there, but it just wasn't quite working. But as soon as I found extended spring boost, I was able to do this. So we switch over to Joy, then time a spring boost just right, and then hover all the way over as Joy. Almost there, almost quite, just not quite. It was a lot harder than the current method of Boyfriend Skip that we do. Try it one more time. There we go, that was much better. So that was the version of Boyfriend Skip that we did for about like a year or a year and a half. That was that was like the meta strat for so long up until about a month ago. So there's one more thing, there are two more things that I want to show in the level Topsy-Turvy 3 before we end off this glitch showcase. And this one is pretty wild, kind of similar to the full level skip that we did in Brainstorm 3.
Wherever I am.
Alright. So you remember how this level was pretty casual with its completion, how it was pretty much just going through it all casually? Well, there is a potential skip. It's not actually possible yet, but it is a theorized skip that we have blabbed in the past. First thing I want to show, if you hold the dash button, you can kind of make the memory just kind of bounce back and forth like that. That's kind of weird. The main thing I want to show, I can grab this memory again, is if you do a dimension break here, and then do a sadness fly, you can just fly super fast, super far forward, pretty much near to the end of the level. Unfortunately, we have still not been able to find a way to actually get to the end level trigger doing this. The closest that we've been able to get is doing a swap jump once we get to this section. But for some reason, we kind of get in this stuck state once we get over to here. I'm not actually sure where our character is, but they seem to be invisible. And this is quite cursed, quite broken. I'm not sure what's going on, but that can happen. So this game is quite broken, and there's still probably tons and tons of skips that are able to be found that have not been implemented into the run yet. So I just want to say thank you all so much for watching the run and donating for this amazing glitch showcase. If you would like to check out the run, we have our own speedrun.com page. You can go to speedrun.com/InsideOut, all one word. We have a leaderboard there just for Inside Out. We also have a Discord server. We would love to have you join. I love this game so much. This is my favorite speed game of all time, and I would love to get more people involved running this game. It's a ton of fun. There's lots of fun movement tech. There's tons of potential left in this game. We are nearing the sub 50 mark for our PB time. We are at a 50-50 world record right now, and we are just on the cusp of getting sub 50. So yeah, thank you so much, Fastest Place on Earth, for having me.
Thank you so much, Izzy, for joining us and showing off this incredible game, GG's on the Run. And I love the glitch showcase. So funny that you can just break the game completely. With that, we are going to head to a quick intermission here while we set up the next run. So don't go anywhere.